Hey, I'm Rita Ora, and I am here with Glamour to get my star chart read.
So, this is your birth chart. Your sun is in the sign of Sagittarius, and the sun is your identity, what you're here to do.
I'm glowing.
And Sagittarius is all about, I want to be loud,
Shine.
but I want to tell the truth and bring everybody with me.
Preach, that's exactly what I'm like.
And Venus is actually meeting your midheaven, which is your career. You are personable, but you can also attract connections. How have you attracted, collaborators in your life?
For me, before I even knew anything about my birth chart, I always felt a sense of power with my connection with people. I'd like to think I'm good at making people feel comfortable. But I think it's because I, one, love to entertain. I love music. I feel like that's our biggest connection, without a language. And I do believe in listening to each other. I think that that's really important. Not that my friends do that because they all talk at each other. It becomes like a crazy massacre of who gets heard first. But in an ideal world, it's like you and me, you know what I mean? Like chatting away. So I think that's a big thing. Let's talk about Taika.
Let's talk about Taika.
My husband.
Okay.
I'd love to know.
Taika is a Leo, right?
Fiery.
Fiery. August 16th?
Yes.
So as a Leo, right? Leo is a fire sign, and so are you. With fire signs is like a soulmate connection. So the same element, you just fire each other up,
We
basically.
really do. I think with Taika and I, it was all very sort of self-explanatory. Like we just fell into this incredible rhythm and there was no effort. And I felt really lucky because we were friends a long time before we decided to ruin everything. I'm joking. Before we decided to go to the next level. I think that had a lot to do with why we are so compatible. Building that genuine friendship, I think, really changed a lot of things for me. And we really uplift each other. As fire signs, there is so much presence in the room that it's understandable because we're very passionate people individually. So together, it really just goes instead of it being like, no, it's actually like, oh my God, I get it. I'm the same. Oh my God, I get it too. And then it just gets bigger and it becomes this massive flame. I'm really happy that there's somebody that understands my rhythm as much because we're very intense people, creatively and personally. We're really passionate about our ideas and about our this and that, and sometimes it becomes like, whoa, for someone. So it's really nice to have somebody be as passionate as me.
Your first debut single, Hot Right Now, February 13, 2012. So this is your chart. And in astrology, we got the North Node, and it's the sign of fated events.
Yeah,
right?
like it was fate, I was
born.
born.
And it was fated to happen, and it was touching your Venus. So it's abundance, opportunity. Can you tell me, was this fated?
When the song first came out, I definitely felt like there was a shift going on. Because first of all, I never released music before, and I always wanted to, so it was a really exciting time for me. So this record, for anyone that doesn't know, it's a really fast record. It's like drum and bass, super quick. It definitely was popping off in the clubs in 2012, and I was in awe because I did love a club when the song was coming out. So I would go out with my friends, and then the song would play, and I'd just be like, wow, I can't believe it's me. And I would look around, and everyone was just going ham. It was just really working. So that's when you know. I think when you've had a couple drinks and you can really test your music, because that's when people are like, I'm feeling it, or they're not feeling it. And me and my manager, Sarah, and my team took it upon ourselves to force this song out. Maybe that was fate because it all aligned.
And that's what the North noted. It's fated, but you need to work for it. Okay, this is actually the release of your first debut album.
Yes.
Ora.
Yes.
Yes, so.
Summertime.
But it's interesting because the North Node, which we talked about, the fated events, was touching now your sun. And the sun is your identity, your purpose.
Wow.
So for this to be your own album, not with someone else, did you feel you were able to express yourself more authentically, fully?
Yeah, with my first album, I felt like that was my moment to really make my mark. I was all in. I was like, I need people to really know me for me, or I guess that's my Pisces coming in, to like me.
Yes.
So I really wanted to make a wave, and I just thought the only way to do that was to be myself, and that was what I did.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy that it paid off, because that album went #1, and that was a really good year, 2012.
The next one,
Oh,
Feb
wow.
13th, 2015.
Yeah, that was the first time I was involved in a sort of big film franchise.
Yeah, and the charts actually say that Saturn was touching your sun, which is your identity and purpose. And for Saturn to be there, it's either it brought heaviness, restriction, and like an exhaustion.
I was exhausted. I mean, the call times are like 4 a.m.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
don't think I'm a morning person.
Yes.
That's just the God's honest truth. But that wasn't why I was exhausted. I think it was because it was the first transition into film. And I was really, really nervous.
Yeah. I mean, what Pisces is all about too is like boundaries. So I'm wondering, like, how did you learn to kind of just enforce them more?
I think by 2015, I was in the industry now for like 3 years, publicly. I mean, I've been working hard at it since before I was in front of the cameras. But 2015, I was kind of like, okay, what are we doing now in my work life? I wanted to really make like a prominent shift where it was more like, I'm not going anywhere. I think that's a lot to do with my Sagittarius. I was very adamant on staying dominant.
Yeah.
So I think that was around that time, 2015 to 2018, 17,
Yeah.
second album, like that was time where things shifted.
Saturn is actually also, while it's restriction, is a planet of mastery. So you're talking about wanting to make my mark. And in a way, how did you come to mastery of yourself and your craft?
I think it was understanding that I could do more than one thing. That was a big deal for me.
Yeah.
I wanted to be that multifaceted person, like people I loved growing up. Tina Turner, Cher, even Jennifer Lopez, all these women that do more than one thing. And I wanted to do it all. And I think that was when I decided, okay, I'm gonna do music and I'm gonna do film because that's something I think I can handle.
Yeah, and you committed to it.
And I really did commit to it, and I still am. You know, I'm still really passionate about film, and so I think that's something that's really exciting.
This day was when Phoenix was released, your second album. You have Jupiter, the planet of opportunity, abundance, expansion. It was touching your sun, your identity and purpose. So in this day, you couldn't have been more abundant. And an abundance to who you are, your purpose, your identity. And that's Phoenix.
So when my album came out in 2018 and then I turned 28 3 days later, I was like at that point in my life where I was thinking, oh my gosh, am I still like young? I don't even know, because you're like at your late 20s, nearly 30. And I think for a lot of women, that's a big sort of jump. My late 20s were not the smoothest because I was just really going through a lot. At that point, my relationship life wasn't crazy great, but I was really excited about my album. You know, that was the only thing that was giving me joy and hope at that time.
It's interesting that you say that because a year after, December 2019, you had your Saturn return. If you've heard of Saturn return, it's a coming full circle to your life lesson, like adulthood.
Well, thank God I
Adulthood,
didn't put my
maturity.
album out then.
Then, exactly.
I mean, my second album did great, thankfully, and the songs were being received really well. And for some reason, I didn't feel fulfilled, and I didn't understand why. And I was really kind of like searching for something. I was kind of like, and I had nothing to complain about, and I don't know why I didn't feel fulfilled. So I think that had a lot to do with my environment, like kind of trying to find my perfect house to live in. Like I wasn't like in my comfort. And I think that's really important to like have a comfortable surrounding. So now I always travel with like my lavender pillow and like my candle and all these things to feel settled.
Let's look at today, January 30th, 2023. So when I look at your chart, a lot of the planets are actually here. They're in the first house, and the first house is all about the rising sign. So the mask, your body, and the way you want to be seen in the world. Jupiter, abundance, and it's in Aries now. It hasn't been in Aries since. There's been like a shift, or more like a reignition of passion in terms of showing who you are, and I'm wondering if that resonates.
Yeah,
with you.
it's crazy you say that, because with this third album, I literally feel like a whole different person.
Yeah.
The shift is real. I used that word shift for 2 years. I said to everyone, like, we need to feel this shift. Everything needs to be shifted right now. Like everything from how I perceive myself to how I dress now and how I feel like I live and am and be. I need to put that in the music. And I think that's why it really relates to the lyrics. And that's why I think this album is a story that you will discover once you listen to it. I think I'm reinventing as just a really grown-up version of myself. You know, I'm still fun, I'm still vibrant, I still think I'm funny, but like I'm a more grown-up version of that. You know what I mean? I like the idea of me being at this point now, like I'm 32, and I believe that what I'm creating is the right thing for me. So it makes me very proud of what I've done. And I've always had a couple questions with my past stuff. I loved them, but I've always been like, what if other people don't? And with this one, I'm less on what if other people don't, and I'm more just proud that I made it.
One other thing I saw was Saturn. Saturn is slowly coming into your first house. So Saturn teaches you have some time for rest, because Saturn can be tough.
Yeah.
And so how do you not doubt yourself?
I don't like Saturn. I don't like it anymore. She really needs to go to bed. It's really bringing reality into my life that I'd rather not have.
She's passing through your first house in the next year.
So she's just going to be making the rounds.
She's going to make
She needs to off.
I mean, you can tell her that, but she'll be there, so the best way is
to accept it.
Be kind to Saturn.
Yeah, you're right. Embracing Saturn.
It.
I mean, I do have it tattooed on me, so I'm going to have to accept it. My birthday chart, I'm definitely going to tattoo on myself. Like, mark my words. You've heard it here first.